Be prepared for highly offensive language and adult and sexual themes. So the housemates are just having a casual, chilled Thursday night. And unbeknown to them, Annihilation Week isn't over just yet, because tomorrow night they're going to be faced with one of their toughest decisions yet. And it's going to be live. And we've got the exclusive right here on Big Brother's Bit on the Side. It's eviction eve, but it ain't any old eviction, because after a week of total annihilation, it is vote to save. Love vote to save. The housemates have been given a little lifeline, and like a wise man known as Andy once said, it's a popularity contest, isn't it? That's all it is. But that's not all, because as you've just seen later on in the show, I'm going to be exclusively revealing the eviction night twist. Yeah. Also coming up, lovely life coach Anna Williamson's back. We love Anna. She's here to talk post-annihilation tactics and what it takes to survive in these quite uncertain times in the house. But with the final furlong fast approaching, we have selected some of the finest fillies and one stallion to help us separate the thoroughbreds from the nags. My first guest is the product of terribly good breeding. It's your third evictee in Jackson's Misses. It's Georgina! Carrying a little bowl of her own, and don't worry, got the shoulder-length rubber gloves ready just in case. It's Louise Zisson! And last but not least, there is nothing this man doesn't know about runners and riders. He's always my odds-on favourite, like the Macarena. It's John McCrick!
No, listen. Question for you all. Where have all the birds gone? 11 people in the house, 3 women, 8 blokes. If Theresa May had a cabinet on that proportion, she'd be out of Downing Street. Why are we so chauvinist?
Well, I was going to say, John, before you so rudely threw your hands in the air, as you always do, before we get on to tonight's show, I was going to come to you. It must have hit you hard with all these
terrible.
girls.
Well, Letitia going yesterday was a disgrace.
No, do you know what, John McCrimmett.
Oh, no.
John McCrimmett. John, there he is. I know you like Letitia, didn't you?
Oh, she was fantastic.
I know.
But she's a great girl. She's got a daughter. She's got a cause. She's a lovely, lovely lass.
Do you know what, John? I don't do this often, right? But I do like you deep down. I don't like to admit, but I do like John deep down. So, when she did get chucked out of that bungalow in Boreham Wood, I got her to do you a nice little message. Have a look at this.
Hi John, sorry I can't be there tonight. I heard you're a big fan of mine and I just want to say thank you for all the support, and I'll always be there to be your bit on the side, booby.
I'll always support Letitia.
Yeah, I bet you will. Right, that's enough of that. Let's get back to tonight. Jackson has got £5 grand in the bank. George? Got to come to you. But you got your eye on a nice pair of shoes now, ain't you?
No, it's completely up to him what he does with the money.
You
It's not
want
for
a
me.
pair of shoes
It's
out
not
of
for
it.
me, it's for his son. He's done that for his son.
True so, true so. But we do need to appreciate the fact that Romeo has gone to many efforts to keep Juliet's memory alive. Look, have a little look at this. Look, you're always next to him, George. You are always next to him in the bed. How does that make you feel?
Good.
It makes her feel good.
Makes you feel, I mean, I've not been forgotten.
No, you haven't been forgotten, babe. You're right there. We can't bloody get rid of you. Do you know what I mean? Well, just 3 people chose the rich life tonight. That was Ryan, Alex, and Jackson. Now, Lou, let me come to you. There was all this sort of every man for himself talk. Were you surprised that more people didn't take the £5 grand?
They were too scared, weren't they, after yesterday? They were like all shitting themselves. But the thing is, you would, wouldn't you? Because I'm not being horrible. They're not going to even...
That's a change. Not being horrible. That's a
It's just
change.
me. I am about to be horrible, actually. None of them are even going to earn £5 grand out of this when they come out, let's be honest. They're not even going to earn 1,500 quid, most likely. And that's just the fact, that's just the fact of this business, right? So the thing is, the clever ones have taken the money. And what Jason did yesterday was really bloody clever. Yes. Because who cares if they get rid of him now, because he's the one that's going to be laughing, sitting on 20 grand. The others are going to be scrapping together.
It's a very
for
true
whatever work
statement.
they can get.
But why didn't all of them, all of us who were there, let's put your hands up, all of us who were there would have gone for the money, wouldn't we? 20 grand. There you are, look at that. There's no one who disagrees with that.
There's so much hate over that, oh, he drives an Aston Martin. I mean, I drive a Ferrari, I would have still taken the money.
She's gone.
You would have done it, you would have done it.
My wife, the booby, drives me. So
Right, let's talk about Jane. She got pretty worked up about the whole thing. When she walked out, I thought she'd been attacked, God bless her. She was like, what's going on? Joel, bit dramatic from Jane.
Yeah, that was pathetic. That was absolutely pathetic. She should have gone, not Chelsea. She should have gone in the buzzer task as well, not Letitia.
Do you know what? This week has literally put that whole house into chaos and our show, to be perfectly honest.
She's sailing through that, isn't she, Jane?
Unfortunately.
She's
Jane's
probably
loving it.
going to win now.
You never know.
She's just like that, la 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 la, winner.
That's a couple of rounds in the diary room.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's talk about Evelyn, because she was quick to point out that Alex and Jackson contradicted themselves, which in a point they did to a slight understanding, John. You know, was it moral high ground, or do you think she did have a point with what she was saying?
you know, she going on the moral high ground, that's a joke anyway, isn't it? They think Evelyn, of all people, to come down from on high and said what is right and noble of all people to go and do it. But the thing is, money is what matters. That's what they're there for. That was the trouble when I was in the Big Brother house. There was no money at the end of it. That's why I wanted to walk and get out. It didn't matter how long
You got your money at the beginning. Shut up, you.
You were so greedy. When you went and won it, you were so greedy. You trampled on it.
And all I can say is, look at me now. Look at me now. She didn't mince her words with Jackson, even after he's given her baby wipes and everything else. That's his words, not mine. Now, something tells me you might have a bit of something to say about that.
I'm so glad he's realised, because she'd sit on his bed and go, I just help myself to Jackson's stuff whenever I've run out. Like, it's so, it drives me mad. She smoked all his cigarettes, she's used all his wash bag, and I think, you're a waste of space in there. No, it's like baby wipes, because we'd run out in the house.
Why do you need baby wipes?
Take your makeup off.
Oh.
So we'd run out in the house.
Like, what are you all doing with baby wipes?
No, we'd run out, and she just helped herself to everything.
How serious are you with Jackson? The passion. Is it there, the passion?
Do you think that you and Jackson are a bit like...
That's what I want to know. Come on.
No offence, a low-budget Millie Mackintosh and Professor Green.
That's all.
You think you deserve more than Crybaby Jackson. I can't
Well,
stand
I
him.
agree with that, but...
I just can't.
But tell us your true feelings. Really, are
Yeah.
you going to
Is
make
he
it
just
off
going
with
to take
Jackson?
over your show?
I'm just going to sit here. I'm frightened for my life at the
You
moment.
just do more than him.
I agree with
With
that.
his
That's
bloody
only come out
gorilla-
since
what
I've
is
left. If I was in there, I'd be like, pack it in,
Yeah.
stop it.
Do you know what? I was
God.
once up for the NTA for Best Presenter, but I don't know how. I really don't know. Well, listen, let's bring it back. Whichever way you look at it, Evelyn has certainly become a lot more vocal this week with things like
People
this.
are so full of shit.
Her words, not mine. So,
voice.
she has changed over the last few weeks. Are we liking the new side to Evelyn?
Although most of the audience are saying no, in the first couple of weeks, apart from frolicking topless out the shower, which wasn't a bad thing, she's now vocal. And all due respect to Georgina, I think she called Jackson out right last night and tonight.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Who disagrees? You disagree, babe?
Disagree. She's so different. She's trying to be so much like Laura. She's making herself look like one of those nasty girls.
Who disagrees to be Laura, though?
Loving the
I'm
chat.
inspired to
When
be
she
Laura.
came in, she gave it all the welly. Turned around saying this, that, and the other. When she came in the house, no,
I'm
really glad
nothing.
because she
It's
is like a
only
firecracker. She's come out of her shell
she has.
and she's speaking the
Now
truth.
she has.
Listen,
Now she has.
no, she.
Now she has.
Hold on, sweet cheek. Let me.
She didn't before. She gave it
Hold
all
on.
this
Right,
before, and now-
Money is the root to all evil, and she has unmasked those evil ones.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about this whole rebellion. Andy and Jason, or the grumpy old men, Andy's words, not mine, they didn't help themselves to any of the luxury food in there. Lou, do you think they should have just ate the food and stopped taking the moral high ground? The rest of them have done it. They all know they're going to get punished for it.
Yeah, I would have just eaten the food. I actually really like Jason and Andy.
You do? Well, do you know what? I'm glad
I
we're getting
like
this
both
because we
of
haven't
them.
had a lot of love on here. Go on.
I like Andy a lot, actually, and I think he could do well. He's the only one with a little bit of intellect. He can spell pate.
Yeah, you can.
And Jason, I just like, because I think he's got balls what he did, and I quite like that. And I like them both. I think that they're two of the best ones, and I hope they go far.
Well,
Who would you
John.
have voted out? Not my gorgeous
If I
Letitia.
took the money.
John,
Yes.
John, got a show to do, babe. I'll come back to you in a minute. I do love you. I love him, though. Well, listen, we all knew there was going to be consequences from it, and we have got a little exclusive for you now. Here's Big Brother dishing out that punishment.
Housemates. Yesterday, 2 of you became rich housemates and the rest of you became poor. All housemates were warned that if they failed to stick to the rules of the rich and poor regime, there would be severe consequences. Last night, several of the poor housemates gorged on the food of the rich and slept in the decadent bedding of the rich. As a result, all poor housemates will be punished. Today, the poor will dine on nothing but slop. Further law, all poor housemates will be required to wear only the sackcloth provided.
No, I'm not doing that.
I can't do that.
No,
It's
no,
too- it's
fuck
fucking
off, I'm not
itchy.
doing
It's
that.
got fleas.
You can go and
It's
fuck
get-
yourself, I'm not doing that.
Jane got fucking...
I'm not doing it.
Alex and Jackson will continue in their life of luxury.
George, very quickly, do we think they are ever going to learn not to break the rules?
No.
They're not.
I was sleep patrolling there for weeks.
We know.
Oh, it drove me mad.
Well, that's what they get for gorging on all their food. Don't gorge. Listen, good bit of chat. Give them a round of applause. What the fuck? Coming up, we've got all the latest news. Tatiana Williamson's going to be here to discuss the process of annihilation and how to cope with a little bit of stress, you know. lot of horsey gags tonight. See you after this. lacking funds, we make up for in horse sound effects. Just because we can. Still to come, I'm going to be revealing tomorrow's huge eviction night twist. Believe me, it's not going to be pretty. Plus, place your bets because we're going to be looking at the housemates' form going into the big race tomorrow. But now, it's time for tomorrow's headlines. In today's news! After last night's binge at 10:47 this morning, Jane was full of sweet regret.
Jason,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's all right.
So I apologise.
Don't worry.
That I shouldn't have
Don't
had
worry.
that sweet last night. Well, then the thing is, we would have all been punished anyway, but
Yeah, it's fine.
that's not the point.
Jason's all being fine about this, and I hope that's...
No, I'm actually quite pissed off, to be quite honest. I want to burst into tears right now.
Yeah,
No, but I do.
I know. To be honest, so do I.
And I tell you what, I better not fucking make light of this, because I will rise. I apologise in advance. I don't want to alienate myself.
Jackson and Alex should say, do you know, actually, for the sake of the team, we're not going to share the food, and I'm sorry if that makes us unpopular, but we're not. Because
But we were all wrong. There's no individual, apart from you and Jason, who showed complete and utter integrity.
Yeah, well, Jason's now saying, oh, I don't mind about it, I don't mind about it.
No,
Is there anything to do
no.
with Annihilation Week, perhaps? You want to piss people off? Fucking, this is exactly the kind of thing that he would have been pissed off about before.
Let me just inform you guys at home that Jane's stylish off-the-shoulder pashmina rag can be found at all good fashion stores near you. I quite like it. I quite like it. And there's a 10% discount if you use the code Annihilation Week. At 11:47, after sharing a bed together, Evelyn was pondering her chances of Alex.
When he first came in, like when I find someone really attractive, I don't stay close to them. I almost distant myself because I'm so shy of them. Like I couldn't even look him in the eye at one stage. I was like, he's so hot.
So that's what I mean. It's took a long time for you to both realise that you fancy each other a lot, but you don't want to seem too keen.
Yeah. I can definitely see you being together on the outside, can you? I can definitely see that. Really?
You're both going to be extremely busy after this. You're both from different parts of the country. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it could possibly work.
I don't think it's going to work, and if it were to work, it'd probably be like a shag, and that would be it. And I don't want that to be the case at all. So it's disappointing, but I agree with you. I don't think it's going to.
That's just what I think. You're going to be a very busy girl. He's going to be a very busy boy. He's got things he wants to do, and he's out
There's
there.
going to be loads of girls throwing themselves at him, and there's going to be loads of guys throwing themselves at me.
Exactly.
For God's sake, just do it already. Just do it with each other and get it over with for all of our sakes. And then at 1:52 this afternoon, finally, it was feeding time.
This is Big Brother. Lunch is served. Jackson, your food is in the pod. All other housemates' food is in the storeroom.
Oh, no! No! Ah!
Come on, it's not that bad. It is bad. Stop being dramatic, right?
Oh my God!
There's a fly in
Smells
that.
like vomit.
No, I'm not eating that. There's a fucking fly in mine. They can piss right off and suck a fart out my arse. Fucking doss he has. In the fucking bin you go.
Look at that cheese. Ryan, don't you dare eat it.
Well, what would everybody do?
Don't do it.
It's my life, my rules.
Eat it.
In fact, I am.
Don't.
No, I
you
wouldn't.
dare.
I wouldn't. I'm so tempted.
What? You want to eat a chocolate biscuit?
Come on, Ryan, we know you've swallowed worse than that. That was today's news. There we go. Well, Annihilation Week has bred a lot of paranoia, insecurity, tears and tantrums So back in the saddle to give some tip-top advice for all of our housemates having a bit of a mare. Another horse gag. It's life coach Anna Williamson! Look at this, you're flaming.
There is a lot of pregnancy
There's
here
a lot
today.
of pregnancy going about.
I hope you've got the hot towels and the water.
Oh, babe, I've got a long glove. I've got it all going on
That's
just
another
in case.
story.
Right, let's talk about this week.
Wow.
Why has Annihilation Week had such a massive devastation on this house?
They've been coasting along, you know, well, coasting for Big Brother anyway.
Yeah.
It's been several weeks. Babe, it has just totally rocked their foundations. They aren't sure. Well, thank you, one person. Thank you. He went with it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, good for you.
It has totally rocked foundations. It's just bred even more insecurities. People don't know who each other is now. Their values are being questioned. They're not sure who their friends are, whether they make the right decisions, whether they're not. Everyone, emotions are running high, and everyone is on a very moral high ground
Well,
at the
you
moment.
say that, but paranoia is
Yeah.
probably the main thing that's setting with most of the housemates. They're worrying that it's going to be their head on the chopping block next. Here, just for you guys, is a little box exclusive.
When someone as liked and as someone as influential in this house as Tisha is removed from the house, is evicted, it makes everyone feel on edge. Nobody is safe. The constant worry, the constant insecurity it does undermine people's confidence and does stop people from relaxing. People did not sleep very well last night.
Right, Anna, people can't even sleep
I know.
at the moment. What advice can we give them?
Wise Andy, wise Andy. Yeah, they can't see. They need to stick to their principles. They need to stick to why they went there in the first place. Everything is changing around them. The one thing that won't change is who we are at the core of ourselves. They need to start realising who they are, why they're in the house, if they go in for a bit of summer fun, if they go in there for money. If they know why they're there, stick with that, and that way you eliminate all the noise, little
True.
technical term, the noise that's coming at you from all the other places. Qualification, though. Got the qualification.
Love it, that paper, didn't you?
Got a little bit.
You love it.
Got a little
Well, tonight, you spoke about money. We saw Jackson and Alex take £5,000 each out of the prize fund. What was your take on that? Were you shocked by that, or do you support it?
Well, actually, on a personal note, I would have probably taken it.
Oh, what a bit!
What a bit! But I'm not in the house. But the fact is, Alex and Jackson, oh, you would have done. Come on, they weren't congruent with what they'd been saying the night before. They've been
Big
waxing.
word for bots.
Big word. I like to, put a bit of education into bots, They were waxing lyrical, weren't they, about, this is what they would do with the money, this is where, I'm not playing the game, I wouldn't dip into the fund. And they did. But I would argue that, particularly Jackson, he didn't actually know the full story. And I am going to support him on that. And I think his heart was ruling his head. Initially, I never had a boo on here, right? Never had a boo.
Your poor child.
My through the child. Initially, I think he was all excited. Oh, everyone could be rich, but I don't think he realised quite the consequences till the last minute. But he needs to be careful now.
He did get very, very upset once he realised the full story. If he didn't already, Trez emotion indeed. Let's have a little reminder.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be like this. Like, I get to sort my son out, I should be buzzing, but I'm not. I can take him on holidays and stuff, and I should be well happy that I can do that, but I'm not. Because people are questioning who I am. And now I'm going to be gone for that. I'm going to be gone for that movement that I've just made. My head's there, gone.
Yeah.
Right. Now, let's look at this logistically.
Come on.
Jackson pressed the button in the
Yes.
task room
Yeah.
for that 20 grand, OK? He said he was going to share it out afterwards. People didn't believe him. The following day, he's now taken £5,000 out of the prize pot.
He needs to quit, right?
He said he didn't understand. So let's put the money back on the table. If he had the chance to do this again, and he knew the full story, do you think he would do it?
I think you know the answer. You reckon yes? I don't think he would at all. I think he values people's opinions of him at this precise moment in the game, and it is a game, more, I think, than the money. I don't think he's done it twice now. I don't think he dare put himself in that position. I think he wants to now claw his way back to get to a position where he can potentially win the show, and he can do that. I think he's, well, interesting. But did you think, until this point, do you think he could have done? Yeah. It's really interesting how one action can change everything in this game.
Well,
and
look
this
what's
is
happened
Big
with
Brother.
Jason. You know, it's really split opinion on him a lot more with the whole Letitia thing.
Yeah.
Evelyn and Huey, on the other hand, they were especially angry with Alex for contradicting himself tonight. What are we making of Alex? Are we now starting to see Alex's true colours, or is it just because there's less people in the house we're seeing more of him?
That's what I think, yeah. We haven't really seen much of Alex over the last 6 weeks or so. So he's starting to come through a little bit more screen time. I don't think it's necessarily him playing a game, as in from the start. I don't think we're suddenly seeing 6 weeks in the game player. Motivations and moods change. Annihilation Week has thrown an absolute bomb in an ant's nest. Everyone is scattered and panicking. Those poor ants.
Poor ants.
But I think he's a quiet... Always watch the quiet ones. But, you know, those are the ones that take on the information. And I think he's seeing what's happening to Jason and other people, and perhaps, he's starting to think of himself a little bit in this whole process.
You say people thinking of themselves. Yesterday, Laura literally reminded them all that they came into the house for themselves and that they've got to be ruthless, you know, because it is a game. What do you make of it? Is she right? I mean, because if you're looking at it as a game show, she's 100% right.
Only be ruthless if you are a ruthless person. Don't change yourself and change your values and your core values and beliefs if that's not who you are, because it will only make you more vulnerable, you more insecure, and you not actually having a damn clue how to play the game. If you're ruthless, go for it. If you're not, don't.
OK, and I think that's a very, very fair point, and I understand what you're saying, but we do see people change, and we have seen people change this week. Finally, do we think now the house has been so devastated this week, can it heal itself?
It is bruised. It is bruised
It's
like
a bruised little house.
It's a bruised. But you know what? These lot work as a clan. They work as a team. They don't think they do sometimes, but familiarity breeds security. They will gel back together again like slime, and it is basically up to Big Brother. If they want to stick a task in there to bring them together or tear them apart, they will do it. They just need to remember this is a game. No one's safe, and no one is bigger than Big Brother.
I love you, and I love this. Give it up for Anna Williamson! Coming right up after the break, I'm going to be exclusively revealing what is in store for the housemates tomorrow night. Annihilation Week will come to a head. Plus, our expert panel will be making their forecasts, and they will not be horsing around. Honestly, it's just such a horsey panel. It's a horsey panel. See you after the break. They love it all. Look. Big Brother sit on the side like a big old bag of sweet and salty popcorn. We are so hard to resist. But listen, this is it. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. If Jason annihilating Letitia sends shockwaves through your household, this next twist is definitely going to cause a bit of an earthquake. Because I can exclusively confirm that tomorrow night, Mrs. Emma Willis will enter the house to deliver some big news. She's going to reveal which 3 housemates have received the fewest number of votes, and it will then be up to the housemates to decide live who is evicted in one final annihilation. Oh, it's so good. Let me just say, I normally say my well's till Friday, but well. George, who do you think is going to be in danger? It's vote to save, remember, this week.
Who I think or who I would like? I would like Jason to be in the bottom, and Laura and Jane.
You'd like Laura, Jane, and Jason?
Laura, and Jane. Yeah.
John?
There's another one. Laura and Jane, you're getting rid of the women. What is wrong with you?
Sorry.
You are so thick and stupid. We've got to get the men out. We've got to get the men out. So Jason definitely goes. Andy's absolutely rubbish and useless.
Lulu, what do you think?
Save the women.
I think who will be at risk is probably Andy. I don't think he'll get many votes. I think Jackson might be at risk.
No.
I don't think that many people are.
What we've got to remember here as well, it's vote to save. It's not vote to evict. It's vote to save. Guys, what do we think? Who's going to be in danger?
Who's going to vote to save Jane? Why is she even there still? She should have gone by now.
Who, Jane?
Yeah. Jane.
I like Jane. Jane represents nice. She does her things in her heels, so she's good. But I think Sam. No! I really think Sam is at big risk to go.
Can I just say though, I think a lot of you are forgetting Andy's actually immune, so he's not going anywhere. Listen, it's been an eventful few days in the house, but Annihilation Week does reach its dramatic conclusion in less than 24 hours. 9 housemates have got their heads on the chopping block. That's Jason's words, not mine. So it's time to find out who this lot think are going to fall at the final hurdle. It's another horse gag. We've got 60 seconds on the clock to talk about each contender. When the time's up, hold your horses. You hear it sound like this. We're going to move on to the next housemate, sorry, or should I say horsemate. Like flogging a dead horse. All right, let's start with the Scouse stallion, Alex. Louisa, what are we making of Alex?
He's actually doing something now, so I commend him for that.
And that's all she's got to say. John, what are we making of Alex?
He's bored us for too long. We can't forget the release. You can't suddenly now pretend that you're somebody else. Get him out.
I've lived with him. He's not forgettable. He's not boring. You saw the reaction of everyone in the house when he was forgettable. And, yeah, I mean, the Evelyn thing...
Not a fan. Alex!
This week, Alex has really upped his game. I mean, he's shown he's not going to follow the pack. He will do what he wants when he wants. He doesn't care what us lot think out here. And he says he doesn't care that we think he's forgettable. I love him.
Who else?
He's not going to win now, so that's why he's taking the money.
Absolutely.
He hasn't done anything, and it's not. I don't know what you think that.
It'll be rememberable now.
Yeah, they won't forget him now because he's took the money. But I think that's his true colours all the way through.
Right, let's move on to his would-be love. Evelyn, start the clock. Louisa, what are we making of Evelyn?
I'm not really an Evelyn. It's my turn.
Get on with it. For what's gone on down there.
Yeah, we know that. No, Evelyn, come on.
I'm not really a fan of Evelyn. She's a bit of a blah to me.
That's a really good word for her.
Accent is not right.
Not to offend any Australian that is watching the show.
It's not a normal Australian accent.
You think she puts it on?
I think something about her.
Well, we can
that I
neither
just
confirm
don't
nor deny the
like.
rumour that's a fake accent. John, what are you making of Evelyn?
I despise women who have tattoos. Their bodies are gorgeous. Gorgeous bodies. Do I need to choose with my
Anyone
body?
like Evelyn?
Yes.
Right, go.
Fellow Aussie, I love her. Her accent is true. I
Is
can
it
confirm.
true?
And I love her, yes.
But you sound Australian.
Oh, no more. I've tried to be fair there. Let's talk about Sam. Start the clock. George, Sam.
Oh, amazing. Love him to bits. Most genuine in there. He's the most genuine in there. And he should be shown more. He is hilarious. He's amazing. I absolutely love him to bits.
John McCrick, Sam.
He's the complete outsider to win it. If you think Sam's going to win, you're in fairyland. absolutely no chance. Sam hasn't got any chance. There's no following out there for Sam.
Lou?
I think I would like him to be my friend.
You would?
Yeah, because he's quite smiley and harmless. He'd be a good friend.
Okay, fair enough. You piping up?
No, Sam, when he first came in the house, he was like giving all this that regarding Ryan, so you would honestly think that when Ryan came in the house, he was like giving the old moolie. But when Ryan came in the house, he just hushed his gums. And you haven't really seen you haven't really seen much of him.
I do think he's quite sassy. He has got a little. I don't think we see enough of Sam, to be honest. I think he's quite a sassy guy, but he's just not seen that.
He's very steady. He really hasn't been up and down. I think he'd fall at the first word.
That one don't sound well. Jane's up next. Let's start the clock. Lou, what are we making of Jane?
I think Jane's at risk here with the public because she's kind of sailed through, and I think they all keep saying we would have annihilated her, like Jane should have gone. So I think on Friday, if they get the opportunity, Jane is.
John?
Jane is a woman child. She's 49, as she says. In fact, she acts like a teenager. Good for her. Good for Jane. For goodness sake, look after Jane. Save Jane. It's not plain Jane. She's got real character, all right. She said she wanted to go. I wanted to go when I was in the house, too.
George!
I can't believe I lost out to Jane. How did I lose out to her? Like, she has tantrums. Yeah, I was mardy and moody and, like, it was a bit of a nightmare for my last week. But
Do you think she's at risk tomorrow?
Yeah, I hope she is.
But she does all the cleaning. She cleans the house.
She's gone under the radar. Jeez. Right, and the last one in this part, Jason. Let's start the clock. Louisa, Jason.
Come on, Jason!
Jason.
It shows Louisa's choice of men.
John, I'm speaking to Georgina. Wait.
It is my
Georgina,
moment.
Well, get on with it, woman, then.
If you stop talking. I think he should go. He was awful to Charlie. He made Charlie look really bad, and there's something hidden about him. There's something he's hiding. There's something weird about him. He doesn't need that money. He doesn't need it.
John?
He's hiding the knife that he used to stab Letitia. He is absolutely disgusting. He is a vile human being. He is.
Jason.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Jason is a game player. It's a game.
Can I just remind John that Letitia...
I'm sorry, Paul, we've run out of time, but it's a good chat. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. Oh. Got to stick to the time. Stay tuned because it is feeding time at the stables, and I've got a tasty exclusive from today coming right up. But first, wait for this. Give me a beat. There were 12 housemates at the top of the week, but for two of them, this would be their peak. We said, yeah, Chelsea, see you later, sing Jace, press the butter, and Letitia went bing. 20k in the bank, man's making dollar. I'm gonna get Cleo a brand new collar. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, none of them up, yeah, who do you rate? Andy's immune, so sit back, cause the vote to save your face. Just give me a buzz. Here's the number.
This week, all housemates except Andy face the public vote, and you are voting to save. The 3 housemates with the fewest votes will face an eviction annihilation. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 650 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Alex, add 01. For Evelyn, add 07. For Hewing, add 09.
For Jackson, add 10. For Jason, add 11. For Jane, add 12. For Laura, add 14. For Ryan, add 17. For Sam, add 18. Calls to the long number will cost 50 pence plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50 pence. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. Every vote cast entitles you to a free entry into our prize draw to win your very own diary room style chair. Vote and draw terms are on the BB website. Cheap burger. But now here is that tasty exclusives that I promised you. And Georgina, you might want to pay attention, babes.
One more week, Jacqueline. We'll see her in one more week.
I know.
It really is a week.
Could be a day. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of why I never wanted to go out like the elimination, because it'd be like, I know she won't be there, but if I go out to an audience, I know she'll be there.
Yeah.
You know, and if I came out and she was in the audience bit where all the other people are, mate, I'm climbing over the fucking rails, I'm jumping and I'm running to her. I'm not trying to run and see Emma. I'm not trying to do none of that. I want to see my missus. That's all I want to see.
Get it on like Donkey Kong.
I'm just gonna, no, I don't even know if we would, you know. I just want to hold her like we used to. Give her a kiss.
George, what would you say to that?
I mean, I'll be there. He can jump over the railing if you want.
Oh! Can we film it? Can we film it?
Yeah,
we can film it! And I weren't talking about jumping over the railing. Anyway, no, in all seriousness, if Jackson was to go tomorrow night, how forward are you looking to seeing him? Looking forward to seeing him, forward, backwards and around.
I'm so excited. Obviously, don't want him to go tomorrow, but if he does, I'm so excited. I've literally been counting down the days. I've got countdown on my phone.
Oh, here we go. Someone's here to ruin it. Wait for it.
No, I'm not. I'm saying, Georgina, you are quite attractive. You could pull a few nails. To go with that toe rag, that blubbing, the crybaby toe rag, Jackson. Ridiculous. What's wrong with you? I'm available, dear. I'm available.
Who's attracted to you?
One, I don't think she's interested, and two, we love you, Booby. You need to get rid of this one. Booby needs to get rid of this one, I'm telling you. Well, listen, we've heard straight from the horse's mouths. Not another horse, God. But it's time now to talk about the remaining runners and riders. Jesus. We've got 60 seconds on the clock for each of them, so let's crack that whip. There we go. Let's start with Laura. Start the clock, Lou. Laura.
I'm like indifferent to Laura. Sometimes I like her and sometimes I don't, but I have to say she should have just taken the money and been like a bit more ballsy, I think.
John, Laura.
Well, she is a trollop, isn't she?
Oh!
But we must save the bird. No, we must save the bird. Well, I don't call you a trollop. Well, maybe.
Shall I
do it? Georgina, Laura.
I hate how she apologises when she's going to say something bad. She goes, I'm sorry, but... she drives me mad.
All right, what are we making of Laura?
Laura's had her day. She did a whole Marco thing. The boyfriend or whoever he is came
Anyone
in.
want her to stay?
No.
Anyone?
She has to.
Trying to be fair. Well, there we go. Let's move on to Huey or Hubert, whatever one you prefer. Start the clock. George, Huey.
I love Huey. I absolutely love Huey. I love him. I think his only downfall is when he gets in an argument, he seems to scream it. He's not malicious. from what I've seen and from being with him in the house. He just wants to get his point across, and that lets him down.
Fair enough, John.
He is a lump of lard, isn't he? He is here, and the way Ryan goes with it and all that thing. Ryan is awful anyway, so I feel sorry for Hughie having to put up with Ryan and all that. But what does he give to the house? You've got to think.
They complement each other.
A lot,
No,
does
how
he?
right.
He
Wise
doesn't
woman,
bring much
wise one.
to the table. He brings
Hold up.
shouting.
The thing is, he's very clued up and he knows what he wants to say, and when he says it, it's pretty much right what he says. He may not deliver it right, but I think he is very clued up and he knows what he wants to say.
Very clued up.
It's too over the top, and him and Ryan are exactly the same, so that's why they bond.
Okay, let's talk about Hughie's other half, Ryan. Start the clock. Lulu.
His voice just irritates me.
Not a fan?
It's just his voice. It's just so annoying.
Okay.
But that's rich coming from me, I know.
Yeah, in all fairness, I weren't going to say it myself.
All Ryan does is play to the cameras. The whole time he puts on this act, the camera he knows is on him, he's getting the airtime. He's such a phony fraud, for goodness sake. Vote him out.
George.
He's said from day one, I'm an attention seeker.
Yes.
He's said it, but he's playing, he's been true to himself. He's said it from day one. I love him.
Ryan.
You love him? What are you talking about? Another one. How many men in the
up,
house
John.
do you love?
John.
Listen, he needs to get over it.
well.
He keeps complaining. You lost the money. Get over it, babes.
Well, that's what he wants to say. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Boy needs to grow up, lose the bib, and grow a penis.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, but it's like last night when he was boiling his egg and he couldn't boil his egg and he put it on the plate and he dropped his egg all over his numpty and God knows what else. He looked out that back window to see
Last but not least, let's talk about Jackson. We'll start with Georgina. That's your man.
I mean, I don't have a bad word to say about him.
Clearly.
I don't.
Or a good word, evidently.
John.
Yeah, but
I thought he was
be
very
there.
strong at one time when he dominated the task and got them to do really good. But he's blubbing, crying,
He's just a big crybaby. Do you know what's worse? Apart from the crybaby, is I don't believe it's genuine tears, which makes it 10 times worse.
Really?
So he's doing like fake crying. And he's
George,
like
what have you got to say
a
back to that?
weed.
What have you got to say
He's
back to
like
that?
a weed.
So did you believe his tears when I left?
No, I think he's full of shit.
Well, you won't be coming to the wedding.
Honestly.
Oh, the wedding! What are you talking about?
Jackson!
Okay, so Jackson hasn't helped himself this week. I think he's playing the game, and it's a game show, so he's allowed to be. However, what's not helping his cause is not admitting to play.
Oh! Right, we've heard everyone's faults. I'm gonna cough. It's been one of them nights, isn't it, Jude? We've heard everyone's faults on the housemates, but John, you are a betting man. What's the odds for tomorrow in your eyes?
Well, I hope Jason. I hope the nation rallies round and gets him out what he did to the lovely Letitia. What is he?
What are the odds? What are the odds, do you think, of him going?
I'll say... No, well, I won't give 10 to 1. It is about 12 to 1 to against being evicted. But I'll go much lower than that. I'll make it Burlington Bertie 100 to 30, Jason to go.
Okay, fair enough. Louisa, who do you want out tomorrow night? Very quickly.
I think Jane's going to go.
You think you want Jane out? Who do you want out, George?
Laura.
You want Laura out? Let's
Yeah.
bring it to the audience very quickly. Who do you want out tomorrow? Jane?
Jane.
Jane.
Jason.
Jane.
Jason.
Jason.
Ryan.
Jackson.
Laura Ryan.
Ryan.
Jason.
Jason. Ryan.
Ryan.
Evelyn.
Hopefully Ryan.
Jackson Sam. Laura. Jason. Jason.
Ryan. Ewan.
Jane. Jane.
I've got 10 seconds.
Jane. Laura. Jason. Evelyn. Ryan. Evelyn. Evelyn. Jane.
Ryan.
Alex.
Jason.
Jackson.
Jason. Jackson. Jason.
Laura.
Oh, good work, Jack. That's enough horsing around for tonight. I'd like to thank you for my fantastic fun with our audience. Should also have said no animals were harmed during the this programme. Come back tomorrow at 10:30 for some eviction dramas. I'm going to be joined by Dan Watton, Philip Olivier, Vanessa Bells, and of course, yourself with Vic Key. It's going to be good. Night, night.